And in 3, 2, 1, welcome to Yogi Bryan Talks. We got Dani Butterly. It's not butterfly, it's Butterly. How you doing, Dani?
Close. I am good. I'm good. You can say Dani Butterfly if you want, but the real name is the Butterly. So
I
thanks
thought
for
you were
having me.
Butterfly the whole time on your Instagram. I
Yeah,
thought it was the
you're
whole
not
time
the
until I
first
actually looked it up.
person. You're not the first person to say that. That's how I hang up on the telemarketers when I know when they say, "Can I speak with Danielle Butterfly?" And I'm just like, "No, you don't
You're
know
like,
me."
hang up. I don't want it. But yeah, it looks like you're in sunny Scottsdale, right? It looks like
I
you got
am.
some
I'm in Phoenix,
sunshine out.
actually. I'm right by
Phoenix.
my garden. You can see I've
Ooh,
got a garden
nice.
going on. I've got some broccoli, some chard, some things. I'm outside. It's nice.
True
Definitely.
yogi off the bat, right when we started, showing the garden, showing the veggies.
Here I
True
am. Yep.
yogi right here.
No yoga mat around me, but that's on the inside. It's been a little cold in the morning to do the outdoor
I,
practice.
I feel that. It has been. It has been. It's so weird in the Phoenix area. It's like, 1 week it's so hot. What, like a couple weeks ago it was like 80 something degrees in February, and then now it's cold
And then
again.
it was snowing. It was like, what?
Right? It's like what? It's bipolar weather.
Yeah, that happens in
Bipolar.
Arizona, but we know that. But yeah, I do try to keep it. I like to have the natural things out here, the garden and the plants. I do the yogi things.
Yogi things. I love it. And
The
that's
yogi
why I wanted you on the
things.
show. I love your energy. Just
I was gonna
seeing you
do a
on
meme,
Instagram.
a meme that was like, or no, a reel. Have you seen the ones that's like, tell me you're a yoga teacher without telling me you're a yoga teacher, and do the whole like whatever, just show like an Om tattoo and or yeah, just walking around with the yoga mat. I don't know what I was gonna do, but then I saw too many of them, and I was like, I don't know if I want to do that because there's so many of those things, so I
Was
didn't
there
do
any
it.
yoga ones? It's a great idea. You got to do it.
I don't think there's a yoga one, but I was like, that would be a good one. But then everyone was doing it for everyone, and I kind of got annoyed of them. So I was like,
Yeah, you could totally do it with like mala beads, incense,
just show your mala beads,
crystals.
show your all of the stuff, like
Yeah.
anything,
You better do it.
incense, my garden, mostly the Om tattoo. I think the
Oh yeah, you got it. Do you have an own tattoo?
I don't, but I have a cow tattoo that has a muladhara that most people think is the Om sign, but it's actually
I
the
see.
root chakra sign. Got that one in India. I do have a yin yang on my back of my ear, but I don't have just the straight Om sign.
See, yeah, but you still have the yoga tattoos there. And if you're listening on Spotify or wherever you're listening from, you gotta look it on YouTube. You can see the tattoos there. Good
Oh,
old
okay, yeah,
yoga tattoos. But yeah, first question right here. So tell us something interesting about yourself that most people don't know.
yeah. Tell us something interesting about yourself that most people don't know. I once heard that you're supposed to repeat the question if you don't know what you're going to say, to buy some time to then say what you're going to say, but that didn't really work. So I'm still thinking about it. I feel like I just told you guys something. I have a cow tattoo, but that one's out kind of out there. Um, Honestly, I'm pretty vulnerable, so
Something non-yoga related.
I don't keep much like in the closet. I don't have that many skeletons that most people don't know. Oh, you know what? I have a good one. I have been a nude model for artists, not a
Okay.
porno, but like for artists. I think I might have actually posted that one time, but I feel like if you didn't see it, most people don't know. Yeah, I've stood up there and been drawn in charcoal
It's like some
by
Titanic stuff right there.
yeah, I think I saw it on Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants one time, and I was like, you know what? That's a good bucket list thing to have
Yeah,
on the
check it
bucket
off.
list. So, yeah, it was kind
Boom.
of a meditation in its own, actually, because first we did like 2 minute poses, and then so I'm like, I could do something crazy for 2 minutes, and then we had a 5 minute pose, 10 minute pose, and a 15 minute pose. So I'm holding the same pose for 15 minutes, having people like draw every little like curve of my body. And it's a meditation. It's a meditation to accept yourself as you are. Like, okay, you're literally seeing everything right now, holding a pose in stillness. Like, you have to be still because people are trying to draw you. So I think for one of the 15-minute poses, I just did like a Sukhasana easy seat. I was just like, I'm just going to sit and meditate and like watch my thoughts and see what comes up. Like, am I thinking about these people drawing me, or am I thinking about like, where is my mind? And it's kind of cool. I think
See,
everyone should
yeah,
model
the
naked one
practice is
time.
everywhere.
It is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that could be your
Take it
next
off the
workshop,
mat.
maybe.
Like, all right, everyone's getting naked and we're all going to take turns drawing each other naked, and it's not going to be weird. It's a good workshop.
You heard it. You heard it, everybody. This workshop's going to happen. Get your tickets now. Link in bio.
I don't know about it. I have seen naked yoga been done. You know, you've seen that before. I've never gone to a class, but I love being naked. So I feel like I would love it. My naked practice is usually, you know, in the creek in Sedona. I like to frolic around out in nature.
Especially with that supercharged energy out there.
It's pretty fun pastime.
Yeah. Well, awesome. That went well. That went well on that first question. Yes. Did a great job. Did a great job.
Did you know that about me?
Had no clue. Had no clue.
Oh, all right. Well,
and it's definitely gonna get ratings up on the show. So fucking skyrocketing now. Probably best episode. Heck yeah.
Not a porno. It is for art.
It's
for
art, everybody.
For students.
It's art.
It
We're
is.
not linking
Your body is an art.
Embrace it. Gotta embrace the nakedness.
Just flash the camera.
Flash the camera and awkward silence. But you know, I see on Instagram, love the energy. I love your book, and we're gonna come back to your book. But like, just tell me your yoga journey. Like how did it start? Like, what happened? How did you feel when you first took your class? Like, I want the whole rundown of how this started.
All right, cool. Well, I was 15 when my mom took me to my first yoga class, and I don't think I liked it. She took me to an Ashtanga class with Dave Oliver and Dave and Cheryl, and I was like, there's no music, and there was all these old people. I was like the youngest one there, and everyone's smelly, and it was just like, you know, no music, right side, left side, boring Ashtanga. We all know that Ashtanga is just like the black coffee of yoga. It's like, it gets shit done. There's no bells and whistles. There's no like sugar and cream. But I don't know. My mom I would go because I didn't like hate it, but I didn't love it. I was just kind of intrigued with it because I was a gymnast and a cheerleader. So I liked being able to like do fancy poses. You know, I was like, oh yeah, I can do this. And it was definitely my ego being like, oh, I love that I can do this. And like looking around, some people couldn't do it. It's like, I liked that part of it. And then obviously I learned that it's not about the pose. It's a lot deeper than that. But it was really good to be introduced to Dave and Cheryl at a young age, because then I ended up doing my first teacher training in high school with my mom, because my mom knew Cheryl well and my mom was going through it, and she gave us like a 2-for-1 deal. So I basically did it for free, just going. So that's why I would just keep going back too, because I was getting like free yoga, and my mom was like, just keep going. So I started going to, you know, the talks, the lectures on the philosophy of yoga. And I was never someone that like spoke up in those classes at the time, but they were such good seeds for me to take in when I was in high school. So I was like learning just the yamas and the niyamas, all of just like this behind the poses. And then I started realizing, oh, it's like, it's not about the pose. I'm not any better than anyone else because I can do Marichyasana D. You know, I was like, it's much more in depth. And then I went to college, and I went to U of A in Tucson. I practiced yoga a little bit, but honestly, I was a sorority girl, and I wasn't that. My practice kind of like took a little turn. I might have gone like once a week but it wasn't that much like that involved. And then it was after college, throughout that whole time too, I was also not battling, but living with this autoimmune condition that was like kind of on the back seat. It was like it wasn't affecting me enough to like have to like change my life at the time, but it was definitely this thing where like if I would sit and like think about it, I would get really upset about it, and I would get really like, why am I different? Why do I have these struggles? Blah blah blah. Kind of get in a little pity party about it. And then it was actually at the end of college that it started affecting me a little bit more. I was getting these like bloody noses, and I just felt like different. I felt like I was trying to like I was trying to be normal, fit in with everyone else, but like it wasn't like working. I was like, I'm not going to do the normal thing. I'm not going to like fit in with everyone else. To me at that time, that meant like getting a job after college and still like they were partying a lot. And I wanted, I don't know, I was partying and getting a job and doing the whole thing. And it just wasn't going to work for me. So then after college was when I went on my whole journey. And that's when my yoga practice really, I wanted to like really, really understand all of the seeds that had been planted in me, the whole mind body connection, the like stuff that I had heard about and like kind of learned about prior to that, but didn't really experientially know it. It just, it was just like this. It's funny because college is like kind of a blur, but it was definitely like something happened at the end of college when I was like, I need to get my shit together to like feel healthy, be healthy. I have something more to do in this world. So I'm not going to follow the path that's most traveled, and I'm going to create my own path, and I'm going to like heal myself. Basically, I'm going to, yeah, heal myself. And then, gosh, this story is like so like many little twists and turns that it's hard to like say it in all one straight line. It's not one straight line, right? It's always different, like ups and downs and things that happen that lead you to one way. But after college, then that's when I took it more seriously, and I wanted to understand meditation. I wanted to understand mindfulness and the mind body connection. So I started meditating to really understand it. And I had some really intense experiences that basically lifted the veil. This is me in Thailand when I'm by myself in a little tiny town, like literally 4 people could speak English there, like fluently, like there was no one
Oh wow.
there. So I was like, all right, I'm just going to use this time. I'm going to do my meditations. I'm going to watch my documentaries. I'm going to read. I'm going to do all the things that I said I wanted to do. And I'm just going to do it. And I had some really intense meditation experiences that were my awakening, that literally my eyes, those like that period of time was so powerful for me, and it's changed my entire life because I didn't then just like believe blindly in the mind body connection. I didn't believe blindly in that we are more than a physical being. I didn't blindly believe that we are energy and vibration, and that we're connected to all things in nature and ourselves and
Yes.
people. And it's like I experientially knew it just in those meditations by having these energy kind of rising experiences and the things I would like see in my third eye. And I was like, shit, it's all real. This is crazy. It was
How long were
like,
you
and it
sitting
was,
for those meditations when you first started, when you're in Thailand?
so it was like a whole progression. When I first got to Thailand, I was doing 10 minutes. I was doing 10 minutes in the day. And then I started doing 10 minutes in the day, 10 minutes in the evening. And then I was doing 20 minutes, 20 minutes. And then I was doing like 20 minutes in the morning, 30 minutes, maybe an hour at night. It was like, it was getting longer and longer because the meditations were no longer like a chore. Like I had figured out or just gotten to a place where my meditation was then this like learning experience for me where it didn't feel like a chore. It was like I was excited to sit down and meditate and like, ooh, what am I going to learn about myself today? What have I been like hiding from myself? Because I think that time of those deep meditations, it was maybe like the first time that I really like addressed deep shadows within myself that I had been stuffing down or like burying. So in that stillness, a lot of stuff started coming up for me that I was addressing, and it was emotional. I was like, damn, like it just like things that you kind of, push aside, that stillness and silence bring up. It bubbles to the surface in your stillness and silence. Um, yeah. I don't know where I was going with that, but what was the question that you asked?
Yeah, like how long you were sitting. Was this when you first started meditating? Like because you were practicing yoga, but is this when you're in Thailand? Was that the beginning of your meditation practice, or had you been meditating before?
Honestly, it was probably like, I mean, I had meditated before, yes, but that was the first time that I was like consistent with meditation. Like, I'm going to make this a part of my life, a part of my routine. Because other times that I had sat down in meditation, um, I think it had been while I was taking a yoga class, at the end of class when a teacher would have you sit for 5 minutes, or that 1 minute before class, where you're sitting in a meditation. Um, or I guess in some of the workshops when I was doing that teacher training, when I was in high school, we would meditate but it wasn't ever like my choice. And it wasn't ever like part of my ritual, my routine. And not that that changes like what the meditation does, but I don't know. I think it did have a different effect at that time in my life. What I needed came up in that time.
Yeah. What's your craziest meditation experience? Like out of body,
Us.
astral projection? Like what was the most like craziest meditation?
So I actually like write about this in my book because it's probably part of the reason that I ended up writing the book. So I was like, oh, this is like I need to share this part. Um, I was oming. So I had a headache that day, just like this kind of like a dull headache from working on a rice farm. I was like picking rice all day, and I think it was partially because of that. But so I go home and I'm just like laying on the ground and I'm oming a lot. Just like over and over because I thought the vibrations were gonna like help my head. It wasn't because I was oming to connect with the universal like source. I was just like oming because I was like the vibrations are helping my head, even though it wasn't like it wasn't a migraine. It was just like a dull headache. Um, and so I was oming a lot, which I've since then learned that oming really does open you up. Like it opens up your vessel to like different things that are out there. But so I was oming and then I started holding my breath. Like, and I love that I didn't know what I was doing because I didn't know at that point what kumbhaka was. I did not know what a breath retention hold was. I just was like holding my breath. I don't even know why. I just started holding my breath for however long I could. I would like breathe in, and then hold my breath. And I was just laying on the floor. It was like my higher self was like guiding me to do this, but I wasn't like thinking that much because I like had this headache and I was like, I don't want to think. So I was just oming, holding my breath. Started holding my breath a lot. So I was holding my breath for as long as I could. And I started to see this little white light that was like right in my third eye that just kind of like appeared. It was like this little light. And the longer I'd hold my breath, the longer that light started getting bigger and bigger. And I like just kept holding my breath. Eventually the light got so big. I think I was like playing around with life and death, honestly. Like now that I look back on it, I was like, oh, that was just a near death experience that you gave yourself by holding your breath for this long.
Holy
And
shit.
I went into the light. I'm like the light was like in my third eye and I'm just laying on the floor and I go into the light and I'm doing like barrel rolls. Like I'm like my whole like everything was crazy and I was in the cosmos. I was legit like the light was then stars and it was like I felt like I was in the cosmos. And then eventually, like, I took a breath, but I had no idea how long it was. Like, my sense of time was like, I didn't know what time it was at all. And I was doing this at the very end of the day. So it was in the evening time. And I like didn't even want to open up my eyes because I was like, am I alive? Like, it was really weird. I think my like consciousness may have left my body for a little bit, gone in the astrals, came back to it, took a breath, and I was like, oh my God. Eventually I had to pee. So I had to leave that space. Like, I didn't want to get up, but I wanted to lay there forever. But eventually I got up to go to the bathroom, and I went into the bathroom and looked in the mirror, and I just remember like seeing myself like I was a stranger in a way. Like, I don't know if my consciousness had fully like come back into my body, but I was looking at myself in the mirror being like just like how a new person would see you. I was like, that's me? Like an animal. I was
That
like
is
I'm an animal.
intense.
It was fucking wild. And then all that night, I ended up having like I didn't sleep at all. It was really weird because every time I go to sleep, I was getting these bright flashes in my light. Like someone was like taking pictures in my room, but there's no pictures happening. It was just like bright flashes that were happening in my mind's eye. And um I think there were spirits around too, honestly, that like super woo woo, but I had never believed in like spirits or anything until this experience. And it was weird. I was just trying to go to sleep then. And like, I literally felt something touch me. And I was like, what is that? And I
Oh,
freaked out. I freaked the fuck out. I was like, so I built this little like pillow fort around me. And I was like, oh my God, I can't even sleep. And then God, this meditation goes on. It was like a whole night thing. So it started with that whole crazy like barrel roll into the cosmos, but then it kept going because I think what happened is I opened myself up so much that like things around me, whatever, like spiritual world, like kind of like was in my field or just around me more. And so then I was going to sleep, and there was a moment when I just did that because it felt like like I was just laying there and some sort of energy, like something moved in my body, and energy either moved or something like came inside me or something left, because there was like a moment when I felt like my chest had like taken a big breath without me taking a big breath. All of a sudden it just like lifted, like I write in my
whoa.
book, like I had taken off a sports bra that had been too tight for all my life or something. Like it was like, and I was like, oh my God, like I just felt this whole lift. And honestly, that night was really terrifying. I was like, fear. I was like, all these fears were coming in of just like, and I didn't even know what I was scared of. I was just like, there is fear coming. Like, I'm scared. I'm scared. I don't know what I'm scared of. I'm just scared. And I had never really been scared. I was in Thailand alone. I had lived alone before in college. And I'm not the person that gets like scared a lot, but there was a lot of fear. And I was like, something is like telling me that I'm fearful. But then I remembered I was like laying there, I was fearful. And I kid you not, I remembered love. I literally remembered love. Something like told me in my head, just being like, love, you are love. Nothing can hurt you. Remember, you are love, and love is powerful. And
Ooh, yes.
I remembered that, and I felt it in my body, and I just like put this love around me, and it like allowed me to like relax enough to go to sleep.
That
So
is,
it was crazy.
that's an awesome story. That's intense. That was like an awakening, sounded like. Pretty much you
Yeah, it
unlocked some
was.
doors there. Spirits started
Yep.
coming out. They're like, oh shit,
That
she can see us. Let's go visit her. Let's go fuck with her
I
a little
didn't
bit.
I didn't see anything, but I definitely like felt things. Yeah. It
Mm.
was the veil, when people talk about the veil being lifted, like then I was like truly awake to more, to the more that
So
there
the
is.
more, and you talked about your book. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say what your book's title is. Fuck the system. That's what I really
That's right.
love about you. I love that book title. Let's talk about it. How did the book come up?
Fuck the system. So that title has many kind of like names, I guess, or not names. It has many reasons behind the title. It kind of means love the system at the same time that means fuck the system, because you had to love the system to heal it. I just chose fuck the system because it's more bold and catchy, and people are like, what is that? This is blonde chick that made a book, fuck the system.
Well, there's a heart, a red heart on the U. So
yeah,
it's
which, like,
more love
that's
there.
what it means. It is love. But then it also has the hidden meaning that, like, it is kind of like fuck the system, because the system was giving me steroids at 15 years old, and the system was telling me I have to get a job and get married and have kids and do the whole thing and retire. And I was like, oh, like, what if that doesn't work for me? What if, like, my soul is rebelling against that? What if that's part of the reason that's making me sick, because I'm not expressing and I'm literally keeping myself in this little box that doesn't fit my shape? So that's kind of why it's also fuck the
Damn, there's a
system.
mic
There's
drop.
that.
There's probably a mic drop right there somewhere. That was powerful. It's true. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah, thank you. Fuck yeah. Um, Yeah, so I decided to write the book when I was in India, I think. So after Thailand, I had those experiences, and I had saved up a decent amount of money. When I was in college, I was a server, and I just knew that this was like my time. I was like, I want to, like, travel after college. I'm just on my soul searching, healing journey. And after that experience, I was like, okay, like, India is where I'm going to go. That's where I'll find my teacher that'll tell me what happened there, and they're going to help me heal and blah, blah, blah. But the teacher training that I signed up for was in like 2 months after my school. So I taught English in Thailand, and the semester ended, and I had like 2 months until the teacher training was starting. So I went to Bali for those like 2 months ish. I worked at a Bali Spirit Festival, just volunteering. That was cool. A bunch of different workshops and whatnot. Bali is great. But then I went to India, and that's when I really learned, like, what being a teacher meant to me. And I still think I'm, like, learning how to be a teacher. Like, there's so much that I feel like I could share so much better so many times. Like, I have, like, knowledge inside me, but to teach it within an asana class is like such a weaving together. It's such an art form that I'm still learning what my, like, the best routes for me to teach are. But in India is when I realized, like, I wanted to share. Like, you learn something and then you share. Like, we're all walking each other home. And that was part of my, like, start. That was the seed of the book, was probably in India, being like, maybe I'll, like, write about this whole journey one day or something. And I had read, like, Eat, Pray, Love and all those cheesy books, and I love that cheesy shit. So I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna be fucking Liz Gilbert.
Maybe it'll be a movie. Maybe it'll be in a movie. I wonder who would play you in a movie, you think?
I don't have any idea. My God, I don't even know. I don't know people's names.
Yeah,
I think
I
that
don't
one
know any,
girl.
like, actresses anymore.
No, I'm so bad with names of actresses. I don't even know what, like, actresses are doing right now with COVID and everything. I feel like
Yeah,
Hollywood's just, like, shut down.
I just know TV shows. That's it. We'll come
Yeah, I
back to
know
that.
TV
Let
shows.
that marinate.
Yeah,
We're gonna
maybe
figure
the
out who's gonna
Queen's
play you.
Gambit girl.
Yeah.
Queen's Gambit
Oh,
girl. I like
yes.
her. No, I
Yes.
don't know. I don't think she's very me. She's a little more, like, sultry and, like, mysterious. I'm not mysterious. I'm like, I tell people who I am.
Well, you might get a
But
movie
yeah, so
deal after
then
this.
maybe. Then I went to France, then I went to Sweden, then I came home, and then I decided, I was like, I'm gonna write it all out, just because my higher self is telling me to do that. And it was this seed that was planted. And sometimes I think we're given ideas, like, in our field, there's, like, an idea there. And if we don't, like, grab it and take it on as ours and, like, tell the universe, I'm going to do this, and, like, start making moves to do it, I think it's like, it's going to go somewhere else. I think that idea will latch on to another person. It's like, all right, if you're not going to like do the action steps to do it, it's going to go somewhere else to someone else who's going to do the action, because we want this idea, not we, but the universe wants that idea to get out there somehow. So if you're not going to be the vessel that's going to put it out there, I'm going to find another vessel that's going to put it out there, because this message needs to be shared.
I like that idea. The universe is like, all right, it's been fucking 30 days. You move it on. Move it on. Shit needs to get done.
Well, I mean, I don't know if it's 30 days. I think it's like you're not even taking like the like actual action plan physical steps, but you have the intention behind it, that the universe knows that you're still getting there. It's not going to leave you. If you have the intention, the thoughts, if it like, is still there, like, all right, you're working on it. You're still just like, what is the word? Like ruminating.
Yeah.
I don't know. Buffering.
Ruminate is a good word.
Buffer zone.
That's a perfect word. Ruminating.
Yeah. So you're ruminating and then doing it. And writing it was honestly part of my own healing journey in a way. Like I felt like writing it was really therapeutic, because so much happened in that year for me, that like traveling, I mean, it changes anyone. Anyone who's traveled definitely knows that being in other cultures does stuff to you. But definitely traveling alone right after college, that did a lot to me. And I was like, you know what? It's not going to be a book for everyone, but I'm going to write it for myself in a way to like crystallize, understand what had really happened. How did I change? Did I even change? Like, what's going on? Can I blah, blah, blah. And then this was actually a couple of years ago though, because then I didn't publish it. I looked for a publisher, or I looked for an agent. Took months to get an agent. I got the agent eventually, and I just put that on the back burner. I was like, all right, it's in an agent's hand. She'll find a publisher. And she was looking for a publisher. We'd have meetings every now and then. And it's just really hard to fucking get a publisher if you're not someone. If you don't like have a network one, if you're not like have at least 10,000 followers on Instagram, like people don't want to publish you these days. It's really challenging. And going traditionally takes a really long time. Even if you were to find a publisher, it can take like an extra 2 years or something to go through the whole process of it. Yeah. And you don't even get that much more royalties. Like it's publishing books is like bullshit. The amount of royalty you get, it's honestly, it's like a rip off. But then I gave her about a year to kind of find a publisher. And then it was like COVID hit. And I was like, oh my God, I think I should just publish this myself, because whenever I sat down to meditate and I knew I had written it, I just was like, I need to do that. When I would sit down and meditate, it was like there, it was gnawing at me, like, fucking do it. Don't be a pussy. Just put it out there. It's fine. Somebody's going to get inspired by it. Someone's going to like it. And they have, like, I've had a lot of good feedback. Like more people have reached out and said they've been inspired by it than I ever thought. And that was like the goal. I was like, if I could inspire one person, like that would be so amazing. And I've done that. So pretty cool.
Heck yeah. Congrats on that. What's like the biggest thing you learned about writing this book for yourself?
Biggest thing, don't overthink it. Just do it. Just do it. Yeah. I mean, I really just try to come from the heart, because it was about healing autoimmune, but it's also about like relationships. Like I talk about this like love affair and all this stuff. Like it's not just about the autoimmune. What did I learn? I learned that I can write decently. I never was a writer before, which is kind of crazy. I blogged a little and I journaled a lot, but I never really took a creative writing class or anything. And I've had like 2 people that are like in a journalism school or whatever read it, and they were like, just don't even take a creative writing like class, because that's going to ruin your natural ability. It's going to like make you think about what you're writing too much, and take away from your creativity. And I was like, all right. I don't know. I still might take a creative writing class because it is really therapeutic for me, and I do enjoy sitting in a little coffee shop with my laptop and my AirPods, and just tuning out everything else and just getting like zoned in. So I feel like I want to try to write like a fiction book, maybe just like see what I could come up with. But I
That'd be
feel like I
fun.
want to take creative writing class for that. Yeah.
That'd be fun, write a fiction book, and it's like you already got a book, you know, and it's like you got practice with that. You'd be like
Yeah.
probably more or as therapeutic, you know, fiction book as well. And you're
This
you're a
one,
yoga
yeah,
teacher.
I
You're
am.
a yoga teacher.
Yes.
How long you been teaching yoga for?
Probably I think 3 or 4 years. Maybe 4
Nice.
years now. Yeah. Yeah. So still learning. I'm like,
Right?
it's probably taken me like 3 years to even like firmly say I'm a yoga teacher. Cause in those first like year or two, I'd be like, yeah, I mean, I teach yoga, but I'm not a yoga teacher. I don't know why it like was so hard for me to like take on that identity as a yoga teacher. Cause one, I don't want that to be my whole entire identity either.
right.
But it's just like, I was like, I'm not qualified for this.
Yeah, it's like the more you learn to teach, the more you realize you have no fucking clue. Well,
Seriously,
you
we
still
know
know what you know,
fucking
but you're like,
nothing.
yeah, right. It's like,
I was just
and
thinking about that. I was like, there's so many more people that know so much more about yoga than I do. But there's also so many people that know a lot less about yoga than I do. So you're a teacher for someone, you know?
exactly, and teach what you know. That's what I keep telling myself, and I've heard from mentors. It's like you teach what you know. Try and get too fucking
Right.
fancy and get ahead of yourself. That good
Yeah.
old what's it called? I can't even fucking remember what it's called. Come back to it.
Cool. Okay.
But yeah,
Got it.
what is your what's your advice for like a new yoga teacher starting?
Uh, I think your soul wants to hear your own voice. So I always tell people to like practice talking in the car, just to
Yes.
like hear themselves, or sing in the car, get your, Udana energy, that energy of voice, of vocalization going, so that you can just start to get used to your own voice. I think that really helps. Um, Also the little trick of like, in the beginning of the class, like we're all going to take a deep breath in, exhale, let it go. And when you do that with them, of course, you're like doing that for yourself because you're nervous and you're like, I need to
Yeah,
get here.
exactly. That's great tips. Imposter syndrome is what I was trying to say. Imposter syndrome. It's like
Oh, yeah.
as you teach and like as you're I don't know, as you learn more about teaching, then you're just like, fuck, like, am I really like supposed to be here? Like, am I? But then you'll like see someone that's just starting to teach, and you're like, oh, okay, like I fucking do know a little bit, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's it. That's the journey, but I think that's natural. I always feel like I need to know more, especially I read a book and I'm just like, damn it, I don't know shit. Like, how am I teaching any of this stuff? Like, I know some things, but
I know Warrior One. I know Warrior One and like three other poses, or enough to get by sometimes. Well, it's like
enough to get
there's
by. Fake it till you make it. All right.
yeah. It's like I know Surya
No,
A B and but yeah. Well,
I,
it's like
yeah.
being on Instagram and just seeing like there's so many good teachers or there's so many teachers that have been teaching for like 20 plus years. Like it's really
Mm,
hard not to compare yourself. Like you're teaching to like someone that's like been teaching 20, 30 years, but it's like they've been fucking doing it a lot longer. That's why they know more.
yeah.
It's just like a
Yeah.
practice and a process. Like it'll just take time.
I, and then that kills me is the people who like are not qualified. or they're not qualified, but I know in my heart that I have more knowledge on subjects, and they have like so many more followers, and I'm just like, nah, what do they have? But that's me judging myself. uh but yeah, you can't judge either side of it, you know.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like focusing on what's inside my mat and my breath and my own practice. And I got to
Hmm.
get back to that sometimes, you know? It's just like we're all human, we all have feelings, and we all do compare at times. And we're just like, you know, imposter syndrome can set in. If you're a new yoga teacher out there, it's normal, it's natural. Like you feel it. Just keep fucking practicing. But yeah, what are
Yeah,
you up to right
that's what
now?
I
What?
would say. Experience too.
Yes.
Just the way to teach is to experience, because then you know from experience. You don't know from a book. You know from experience. So the more you practice, the more of a teacher you'll become.
Yes. That's
Who's the quote?
spot
Is
on.
like 99% theory. No. 1% theory, 99% practice.
Exact. Yes. Yes. Yeah, because like you can read it in a book and you're just like, okay, cool, I know this stuff, but then like actually saying it out loud and then trying to communicate that to a student, and students, your students will give you like the feedback. They're gonna like stand there and be like, okay, what the fuck did you just say? You know, and then you have to like
Yeah.
kind of articulate it a little bit better or just go back and figure out how to teach that a little bit better. So yes,
Yeah.
it is in the practice, it is in the doing.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So what are you up to now? Like what's going on now? What new projects you got?
Uh, I mean, I might be teaching a YTT for lifetime. We're not sure if we're doing a spring one or not. We should probably like know that by now. So maybe it's going to be a summer one. Just teaching, trying to promote the book a little. I'm like not a marketing whiz, so I need to get on the content creation kind of stuff. Um, I have some ideas of things that I want to do. I don't know how to bring those into fruition. That's a little bit completely a different project, but now that I've like done the book project, like I said, that was like my idea that the universe like gave me, and I needed to like get it out of my system. I feel like I've gotten it out of my system in a way, so I'm going to continue to like market it and whatnot, but I'm like it feels good to just like get that out, and I'm like, oh, okay, now I can move on to the next project or whatever I want to do. The next thing that I really think would be cool for me that well, it's kind of a weird time because of pandemic, but I've just like, this is another idea that I've thought about for maybe like a year now. uh, Even though I was still in the midst of like publishing the book, this is an idea of being like an Anthony Bourdain of yoga studios slash health and wellness centers, where I just go to different studios and talk to the owners and interview them and show like what makes their studio different from this studio, and like, I don't know, get to the heart of yoga, because I feel like each studio owner opened up their studio for a reason. And I want to bring that heart of yoga to people who don't do yoga, right? People who just are watching
Yeah.
a show. They're watching whatever Anthony Bourdain's show was or whatever. I don't know, bring it to a different format. It's like you don't need to do the yoga to still get the yoga if you're going to learn more about it through a show.
I like that.
So
You can do it on
it's a
Zoom
big
too.
project. Yeah, I don't know how I would do that, but I'd want it to be like, look really nice, like videography, like look cool. So there'd be a lot
Nice
of,
B-roll. Nice B-roll sliding in.
yeah, the
Yeah.
B-roll with the
Some drone shots
voiceovers,
over you. Like, yeah, I could already
yeah,
see it. Like drinking
the
tea or
drone
something,
shot.
laughing,
Yeah,
like
yeah, all
uncontrollably
this stuff.
laughing at like random times where you shouldn't really be laughing. You know? Like, why
Yeah,
is she so
yeah.
happy
Maybe we
drinking
could
tea?
laugh yoga too. That would be a good one. Why she's so happy drinking tea. I like your humor because it's kind of like mine. It's like dry, where people like don't even know you made a joke until like 2 seconds later, and then you're like, oh wait, that was really funny. I
I
feel like
like
I
that.
do that, and like it just goes over people's head. They're like, she just make a joke? And I don't know. Sometimes I don't even notice. And I'm like, oh my
Yeah,
gosh, this is
I
funny.
try to do it in class, and like I get maybe like a few people laughing. There's been times where I get zero people laughing, and then I'm like, all right, well, fucking, I tried.
They
Happens.
just laugh inside. I said something today. I've said this a couple times. Sometimes when I have people flip over from their belly to their back, I'll say like a rotisserie chicken, or I'll be like, or like you're a hot dog on a fire or something. And
I
some
like
people
that. I'd
just
laugh. But you're right.
some people
There's laughing
giggled.
inside.
Yeah, they're just
Like
like,
flipping over.
haha,
They're
she's
like,
ridiculous.
yeah, they're like thinking of a rotisserie chicken. They're like, that is funny.
Yeah, and I was like, you're not a chicken, don't worry, you're a human. I thought it
That's
was
awesome.
funny.
That's awesome. You got to love the humor in yoga. That's why I wanted you on the show. Like, book with fuck the system is definitely
Yeah.
my people coming on here, because the yoga community gets a little serious, gets a little too serious sometimes. I'm sure you feel that sometimes.
Yeah. And I
It's
mean,
like,
I teach classes that are really serious where like I don't have a joke in there sometimes just because I don't know, like it just happens that way. They're not all light. I do try to like, come like have some comedic relief in there, but sometimes yoga is serious. But I do appreciate the humor of yoga, definitely. Like when we don't, yeah, we can't take ourselves so seriously, especially if we're on like a healing journey or like seeing our shadows and stuff. Like it's dark, but like gotta laugh at yourself. Like
yeah,
it's that's
gotta
part of it.
laugh at yourself. Because I mean, humans are just funny fucking looking, anyways. When you think about it, like,
We're
just funny,
weirdos. We're
funny weirdo. Like in
aliens.
this spot, like we have toes and fingers. Like, it's fucking weird to have like hands,
Yeah. Yeah.
ears. Like
Yeah.
ears are like kind of weird.
Yeah. I was actually thinking about ears the other day when I was looking around at all these fucking masks. I was just like, God damn it. I hate these masks. But I was appreciating our ears, or I was actually thinking, what if none of us had ears? What would we do? Well, how would we be able to like wear our masks and protect ourselves from the virus? Like if no one had ears, we wouldn't be able to have masks on. And then what would we do? I guess maybe like tape it to our face. I don't know.
We'd
I
have
was
like a
just seeing
shoulder
all these
harness around our head. Like it'd be so weird, but it's true. Like, yeah,
a
you gotta
little
think of that.
halter
Like
top
ears.
for the face.
And
I
like
don't
I wear
know.
my AirPods all the time. Like I would miss my AirPods if I didn't have ears. So
Yeah.
that's deep.
Yeah,
We're
true.
getting deep on this. Getting
Ears.
ears are a trip. I'm probably gonna dream about ears now in my
There's
lucid
big ears,
dreaming.
there's small ears, there's floppy ears.
Yeah,
A lot of different ears out there.
dog ears. And then you got all
Dog
different type
ears.
of animal ears. Oh, we can go on this forever. This might be an ear
Yeah.
podcast. Might have to
Did
change
you know
the
that
genre.
humans we take in 80-ish, 83-ish% of our sensory input with our eyes. So when we close our eyes, you're actually starting to turn on the other senses. I just thought that was interesting. So when we close your eyes, your ears become
Ooh, I like that.
more sound healing.
Yeah, it's like,
I don't know.
well, and we don't even, I heard this
We
like
don't give
some
our ears a
mindfulness
lot of
thing.
attention,
Yeah.
or our nose. It's our eyes. The eyes get so much
Fucking
information. It's like, why don't we give our nose and our ears more information?
eyes are just monopolizing our whole senses. Eyes are like, I'm
Yeah.
fucking taking over. Well, it's like, even when you're like sitting, there's like a practice that I learned that, like, if you close your eyes and sit and then you start counting the different channels that you can hear, like the different channels, like how many sounds that you can hear. There's like so many sounds that you block the fuck out with your conscious mind that, like, you
Mm,
start to hear, you're like, oh shit, like that's the air conditioner humming, or dang, someone's playing music like fucking down there. It's weird. It's trippy. Try
yeah.
it out, everyone.
Yeah. Yeah. That is weird when you tune into sounds. And sometimes like there's that one annoying sound that you have to like learn to like not attach to and have emotions around. You're like, if that fucking like sprinkler would just go off, I'd be able to get into my meditation better. That fucking sprinkler. And then you're like, that's part of the meditation. Like that is there for a reason. That irritation is teaching you something right now.
Yes, just being aware that you're irritated of the sprinkler. Very, very insightful.
Yes. I'm going to tell you my meme idea that I wanted to tell you before, my funny meme. I already told you my one meme idea of how do you tell people you're a yoga teacher without telling you people you're a teacher. But the other one is my raise the vibration one. I wanted to do some sort of like raise the vibration series where like you're literally like vibrating like next to someone. You like just go up and like shake next to them and like just do it to like a complete stranger and like see their reaction and be like, I'm just raising the vibration or something.
You got to do it. Do you have a TikTok? Do you have a TikTok?
No, I do, but I posted one
have to
thing
do
on
it.
there. I haven't really done it.
Just make them on TikTok. That's what I do with my videos. I make them on TikTok and then I share them everywhere. Like you have funny
Yeah.
ideas. Yeah, you can. Yeah, and they're easy to edit on TikTok. You just basically, it has all their editing features there. So you do it, make a TikTok, and then use it for reels on Instagram. And you're funny as fuck. I'm telling you right there. You have some good ideas. Those are funny videos.
You
just play
like
around
the
with it.
vibration one?
I do.
I like that.
Yeah, because you can do like yourself looking at it, and then you can like change colors to make it like disco-ish.
Oh yeah, I could see that. I can see that. Raising the vibration.
Boom. There it is. Start your
Cool.
TikTok. You better start a TikTok. Invite me.
I do have a TikTok. I've posted one thing on it and I don't go on it, but I'll do things more.
Yeah, TikTok is awesome. I love TikTok. It's one of my best platforms. I post more on there. And Instagram is like tough to grow anything. Instagram is just tough.
It is. Instagram is that algorithm. Have you heard that they don't even really know what the algorithm like is anymore? It's like taken a form of its own.
I saw that on some Netflix documentary. But they probably know what's up. I mean, anytime like something new on their platform is introduced, like they're throwing that shit on the discover page. So like reels is something new.
Yeah.
So anytime like something new on a platform is, use the fuck out of it. Like I don't even really do Instagram IGTVs as much anymore, or actually post videos on my posts on Instagram because those do shit. So I just do all my videos reels that gets out there on the discover page or stories. But yeah, it's just like the algorithm on social media. It's just so fucking tiresome that I stopped caring about it anymore. I'm just gonna post this shit and who knows what's gonna fucking happen.
Yeah, there's just a balance with it, right? You gotta try a little bit, but then I'm still gonna like post whatever I want to. Like for a little, I was like, I have to do like make this my yoga thing, and I'm gonna do yoga things, and I'm like, you know what? I'm still gonna post if I go to a wedding, some personal shit or whatever. I'm like, you just doesn't matter. Just do you.
Yeah, I feel that. I had to like create a personal page for me because my Yogi Bryan shit was just turning into more of a brand. So I'm like, yeah, no one's gonna want to see my fucking.
You were Namaste as fuck, right?
Yeah, I was Namaste AF.
Did they like shut that down or something, or you just changed it?
I don't use it anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, another company came in and they fucking said that they had the name and I didn't want to fight it. So I could have fought it, probably won because I have a trademarking process, but I'm just like, my energy wasn't there for it. I'm like, I don't want to spend time for a name that I'm not fucking like. I can just
you might as well grow yourself because
exactly
you can like
exactly. And like at first I started selling shirts, Namaste AF shirts. Yeah. And there's not like, you're not gonna fucking grow like the next Polo Ralph Lauren or some shit these days. I mean, you can if you like really work hard on it, but Namaste AF is like, when I was doing the shirts, it was for fun. And like, yeah, some money came in. And I still do shirts now with Yogi Bryan, but like me having to fight for a name for something that's like not my number one priority was like, fuck it. Like I'm a yogi. I'll just like let it go. It sucked for a little bit, but things have gone like way better just kind of letting that go. So that's a story on it. I don't talk about that too much. That other company's probably listening and oh fucking well. Great, you have your name. Hope you're doing fucking awesome.
Do you have
Namaste.
any other products?
Yeah, I have Teespring. I partner with Teespring. So I got that opportunity through TikTok. I'm on their TikTok creator program, and Teespring reached out, and now I partner with them. They do all the shipping. I have someone on Fiverr that does all my designs. So it's like it's like really like to a point where I fucking love it now. I just have my designers design
Nice.
whatever I want and goes out. I don't have to worry about shipping or any of that stuff.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, having inventory and stuff is always a challenge, and shipping things out. I've been like shipping out my books, just like going to the post office and shipping them out. And I definitely think about like, I mean, I have all these ideas too, just which one am I gonna do? But my book was more of kind of like a passion project in a way. Like, yeah, I'm gonna get it out there, I'm gonna market it a little, but now I'm kind of in a way space where I'm like, all right, I want to make like more money doing something I love that's helping a lot of people, but just like publishing a book is just like not a lot of money unless you're sending or selling millions
Yeah.
of them, right? So something that's more lucrative, a better what's the word? I don't know, structure of a company maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's like, yeah, I used
Better
to ship
model.
my clothes. I used to make my clothes, ship them, and that is just time consuming. You're just worrying about shipping, worrying about customer service, like returns and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So it's I feel like the model is like any digital products. Like if you have digital meditations
Yeah.
or a digital course,
Courses.
but a fuck
Yeah.
ton of people are doing that. Like everybody has their
I
own
know.
course now
I
and like
know. That's
coaching.
why I'm
Everyone's a
like,
coach.
I don't want to do a course unless I like am super passionate about that actual course. So I'm waiting for that idea to come for me for what course I would want to do. Not forcing that to happen anytime
Yeah.
soon. But yeah, in the meantime, I mean, I teach how many classes? I think it was 10, 12 minus one. Yoga Onyx is closing. I only had one class there. So I have like 11 classes a week, and I have really low bills. So I'm actually like able to support myself somehow teaching
Awesome.
11 classes a week of yoga, which is like dope because that's literally me
That's
working. I
awesome.
mean, granted, I have drive time and stuff, which lifetime is like 10 minutes away, but I have some other classes that are more like 20 minutes away, 25. But that's like 11 hours of work a week. And I'm
That's
able to
amazing.
like pay my rent and all the things. I'm not saving a lot of money, but there's a lot of people living paycheck to paycheck, working 40 hours a week. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm living paycheck to paycheck, working 11 hours a week with all this time to like create something else and doing something that I love. So I'm like, I'm fucking killing
Yeah.
it in
Chilling.
my own
Yeah. Fuck the
idea of what
system.
success is.
Boom.
Yeah, fuck the system. I'm gonna figure it out another way. I'm not gonna follow the path most traveled.
Yeah, exactly. That's the
No, some
thing.
I mean system is like it's set up in a way that like it does work. Like the system is a thing because it works in some respects, but it keeps us fucking bottled up, and I don't know. I guess it works financially, but it doesn't work for your soul.
Yeah. And if you practice yoga, if people are listening and you're just practicing yoga, welcome to the rabbit hole. And as you practice yoga and meditate, like you're going to realize you're in the fucking matrix and you're just going to start unlocking new levels, opening doors,
It's a game. Life's a
doing
game
barrel rolls in the freaking
in the
universe,
cosmos.
in the cosmos.
I don't
But
know if
yeah,
I recommend like holding your breath for as long as you can. I don't want people to be like, oh, I'm going to try that.
yeah, yeah. Don't die. If you're listening to this podcast, do not die. And
Don't purposely
I'm not fucking
give
liable
yourself a
for that.
near
All
death
right.
experience.
Yeah. So make sure you're breathing and don't do anything stupid, listeners. I just have to say that. I have to fucking say that. But yeah, where can
Cover your
everybody
ass.
find you?
Uh, soon to be TikTok. No, Instagram probably or Facebook. Dani Butterly on Instagram, Danielle Butterly on Facebook. You know, I live at 81. No, I'm just kidding. Just give my
Party
address.
time. Party time
We do have
at
some,
Dani's
you know, we have
house.
barbecues back here every now and then. So,
Sweet. So we'll link up the barbecue. Everybody will show up this weekend.
all
We'll
right,
be
cool.
there.
A little full moon barbecue. When's the
Ooh,
full
yeah,
moon?
throw some yoga in there. Everybody can
Oh,
hold their
yeah.
breath, go to the cosmos.
I've been wanting to do just like yoga in the backyard, but our grass is shit. We got a puppy and she just tore up the grass.
Mm,
Anyways.
maybe in the future, manifesting that.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, Dani,
Possibly.
thank you so much for coming on. We're gonna wrap this shit up. I thought it was gonna be like a 30-minute podcast, but we blew past that, and it was fun. Appreciate you coming on.
Thank you. I appreciate getting to, you know, experience talking with the Yogi Bryan. This was fun. Fuck
It
yeah.
was a good time. It was a good time. Fuck yeah. Everybody
I
go get
like
the
being able
book.
to
It's on
say it.
Amazon. Fuck the system. Got to read it.
Actually, buy it on Balboa because that
Oh,
helps me with the royalties more. Amazon takes all your money. Balboa gives me at least like, I think 25 or 35% of the royalty. Amazon, I get 10% of the royalty, which is like $1, $2 or
yeah.
something
Well, we're
per
not
ship.
linking Amazon. We'll link Balboa. We'll put that in the link on this podcast there. So yeah, thank you so much, Dani. Have a great rest of
Thank
your
you.
day.
Have a great day.
Yeah, namaste.
Bye. Namaste.
Stop the recording.